It's quite the find. Hello friends, and welcome back to Crow's Thrifty Finds. My name is Melanie. So this week's video, it's going to be a what's sold video. So I'm going to be talking about my sales from the past couple of weeks. So we're due for one of these videos. So sales have been kind of hot and cold. You know, I have one day where I get like 7 sales in a day, and then another day where I get crickets, maybe 1 sale. So it's been very hot and cold. February does kind of tend to be like that. Feel free to leave a comment with how your sales have been in the month of February, but let's talk about specifically what items I sold so you can know to be on the lookout for them. So first off, we have a pair of Rock Revival jeans, and those jeans were men's jeans, and I wish I could get more men's jeans because they actually are much more profitable than women's jeans, I find, from my experience. So this pair I paid $15 for. My Goodwill prices men and women's Rock Revival jeans usually around this price. And these men's jeans sold for $52. So that was a great flip. Next, we have a baseball glove. I don't buy a ton of baseball gloves, but sometimes I do buy them if they're cheap enough. This baseball glove was a vintage one, and it was a good one. I paid $5 for it, and it sold for $25. Next, we have a vintage transformer. I've said in past videos that these are great to pick up if you can find them. This came in a lot of transformers that I bought all together. So I am in the green, have been in this lot. So that was just $23.50 in my pocket before eBay fees. Then I'll take a little. Next, we have a Patagonia jacket. So this jacket I paid $10 for. It had tons of pilling on it. I got my trusty pill shaver out, and it's very therapeutic for me to use it, so not a problem at all. Turned around, flipped it within a couple of days. This sold lightning fast, and it was a woman's small too, which is not usually a great size. So I thought this would maybe sit, but having only paid $10, I was fine with that, but sold for $35 very quickly. Next, we have a Monster High doll. I paid $5 for this. Was just kind of randomly in the toy section at Goodwill. Turned around, sold it for $20. A little less than I like to make, but I can't say no to Monster High dolls. I just love them. So I buy them, and people want them, and, you know, $15 is still a decent profit. Next, we have a pair of rollerblades, K2s. These were actually my rollerblades, but I didn't really care for them. The big wheels made them go really fast, and it was a little too fast for me. Kind of lame like that. I needed slower rollerblades. These fitness skates were not what I needed, so I decided to sell them. So they've been listed for a while. I figured they probably wouldn't go in winter, but somebody bought them. So $61 they sold for. They were a nice pair of skates. It's just not for me. So eBay is good to sell your own stuff on too that you don't want. Next, a pair of Lost pants. These came from Ross. This is little retail arbitrage. I paid, I think, like 16, maybe 15, 16 bucks for these new. And they sold for $42. This is the second pair of these that I've sold, and I have one more pair. So people like this brand. It's kind of a throwback brand. It was really popular amongst the surf and skate folks in the late 90s, early 2000s. And there's some people that still want that kind of stuff. So they're probably the ones buying these pants. Next, this is a big sale, and it sold very quickly. This is a Jeep. It is vintage, but it's from like 2002, I believe, and it was plastic, so this wasn't even metal. And this car I bought from a thrift store for 25 bucks, so I paid up for it, but the comps were great, and it sold within a few days for $110. So that was a nice quick flip. If only they could all go that quick, right? Next, we have some body spray from Bath & Body Works. This is a retired scent. And this shimmer spray, I find is pretty rare. So when I see the shimmer spray, I usually pick it up. I do check, but I mean, it's good to look up comps. But yeah, that usually signals for me to look. And as you can see, this is not full. It's not a new bottle. So I had to sell it under Collectibles, and eBay is fine with that. They will yank your listing otherwise. But I paid $3 because, again, it wasn't even full. Sold for $25. So that was a nice profit. Next, we have a Kate Spade bag. I do not buy Kate Spade bags very often because the resale value is not great. They don't fly off the shelf. But this one was a bigger bag. It was a popular style. It was only $10. So I was like, you know what? I'll pick it up. So I bought it. It did sit for a little while, but it sold for $37. So I'm happy with that flip. Next, we have a lot of mini Dungeons and Dragons figures. These are from the early 2000s. These were in that big, huge toy lot that I keep talking about. But again, these, I actually just found a little bag of these. I say little, but I mean, it was still like maybe 50 or so of them. And I just found those the other day in the thrift store. So these things are out there. So this got sold for $140, and I am in the green on that huge toy lot. So I spent $925 on the lot, all kinds of good stuff, and I'm in the green. So that was $140 right in my pocket. Next, we have a new LL Bean shirt. I talk about LL Bean all the time on this channel. If I can find new LL Bean, I love picking that up. So I paid $10 for this shirt, slightly marked up, but you know, it's just your basic collared shirt, but it still sold for $42. And it was so funny because, you know, they love LL Bean in Maine. And I just jokingly thought to myself as I went to see where it was going, I was like, I bet it's going to Maine because it's LL Bean. And people love it all over, but especially love it in Maine. And sure enough, it was going to Maine. So hopefully that person in Maine is happy with their shirt. Next, we have some retired Redken hairspray. I had this priced up a lot higher. I do think I just kind of settled on this price to get rid of it because it did sit for a long time. Wasn't a super popular style, even though it was discontinued. That's the thing. Just because it's discontinued doesn't always mean that it's going to fly off your shelf. And this was one of those examples. But somebody put an offer in for $25, and I was like, yep, I'm going to take that because I paid $5, and that is still a good profit. Next, another one of those Marlboro t-shirts I got sold. I bought this for $1 and it sold for $24.96. Next, we have mini Funkos. These things, people want them. So I don't even recall seeing these for sale, but they're out there. So this is from the TV show The Office. This is a lot, and I sold them for $15, and these were in my vintage toy lot that I spent the $925 on. So that's just money in my pocket. So I don't mind a $15 sale if it's 100% profit. Next, this sold very fast and got a ton of attention. So I kind of want you guys to pay attention to these specifically because apparently these are very in demand. These are Fisher-Price Little People, which Little People in general, people want those. Popular toy for little kids. These were Disney princess ones, and there was a couple other stray ones in there as well. And I paid $5 for the bag of them all and sold them for $25, and they sold in less than 24 hours. Did I underprice them? Possibly. There are these Disney Princess Fisher-Price clip-clop pony princesses, really great bolo. I'm just throwing in the middle of this video here. I didn't mention it in my last bolo video. I meant to, and I kind of forgot to mention it. But those are big time bolos, and the castle that they go on is a bolo. Accessories are bolos. So they're basically these Disney princesses, and Fisher-Price Little People made them, but they're not but they're actually like on horses, and the horse's legs move and it makes this clip-clop noise. Really cool. My daughter loved those. But anyways, good little bolo I'm sticking in the middle of the video here. They go for big money. Look them up. Next, we have another Bath & Body Works item. This is Comfort Lotion Aromatherapy. A lot of the aromatherapy lines that are discontinued are desirable. So I paid $5. This was pretty much a new thing of lotion. Maybe it was possibly used once, but I think it was new. So I was able to sell this for $35, sold within 2 weeks, maybe. Next, this item sat for a while, but it had so much interest, and other ones sold for more. So what was wrong with mine? I don't really know. I mean, it had a little bit of fading on one part of it, but like nothing major at all. But I got this hat actually during the big trash pickup. Somebody just abandoned it and was done with it and put it out with everything else they were getting rid of. And I was like, oh, that's kind of an exotic looking Nike hat. And sure enough, ended up being super valuable. But I had to keep lowering the price because no one was buying it. Everybody was looking at it, but nobody was buying it. So I was like, okay, well, guess I'll just keep lowering it. So finally it sold at $40, but I mean, it sat for months and months and months. Next, we have a unusual find. I've never seen this before. Yankee Candle Boney Buddies, I think they were called. And these ones were like wedding themed. So Halloween, but you know, Halloween stuff sells year round, so I wasn't worried about that. They have been listed for a while though. And they held candles. So pretty cool, pretty unique. I knew they'd sell eventually. I think I paid $21 for all of them. Maybe I think they were like $7 each, around there. And they sold for $55. So I kind of lowered the price on those because they were sitting, but I knew somebody eventually would want them. Hopefully they'll be used in somebody's creepy themed wedding or something. That would be really fun. Next, we have a Pokemon game. This is the Pokemon Battle Coin game. Now this was new, again, in my toy lot, the big toy lot that I'm in the green on. So all profit for me there on $35 worth. So, you know, it's one of those things you want to find this new. Probably won't be easy to find new, but if you find it used, you know, you can probably get $15, $20, you know, if you're lucky. So, still worth being on the lookout for. Next, we have a hoodie. This brand is Beautiful Disaster. I had never heard of this brand, but I looked it up. It reminded me of the 311 song. I was like, does it have anything to do with the 311 people? I don't know. But anyways, got my attention. And so I got the hoodie for $1 at a garage sale. And then, yeah, I sold it for $25. And I had that priced up a little more too. There are some Beautiful Disaster stuff that sell, you know, $40, $50 range. So definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. And that is going to wrap up the video for today. Don't forget to like this video if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Feel free to leave a comment about an awesome sale you've had, or like I said in the beginning, just how your sales in February have been doing. And until next time, my name is Melanie. This channel's name is Crow's Thrifty Finds, and I'll see you next week.